I don't like the fact that it looked like I sell rugs. I see some people look confused. Clearly I'm Indian, but I'm not Dunkin' Donuts Indian. But at the same time, I look way too stupid to be a doctor or an engineer. So I fall in this weird in-between category of upscale merchant. Like I'm peddling jewelry or silk. Where my minorities at? Minorities make some noise. I know you guys are in here. There's a group on. I know you. Of course you're here. Guys, minorities is crazy, man, being a minority. I remember everyone, you know you're a minority if this happened to you in your childhood, okay? You were shopping for clothes with your mom, and you saw the shirt you really wanted, but it was too expensive. So what did your mom do? She spent 2 hours canvassing the store, and she found that same shirt, but the one that was like clearly returned 4 times and had a stain on it, and she took it to the register, and she demanded a discount. So they're like, all right, 30%, but that wasn't good enough. She goes, listen, who's gonna buy this shirt? It's all fucked up, it smells bad. So they're like, 40%. She's like, no, it's not good enough. She keeps going. I wouldn't let an orphan wear this shirt. This is disgusting. So they're like, fine, 50%. So finally, she takes it. They're like, ma'am, who's this shirt for? She's like, oh, it's for my son right here. I love him very much. I love him a lot. That's parenting, man, for minorities. This is what we do. You know you're a minority if, like this happens to your parents travel and they bring back stuff from the home country. You're like, my mom came back from India one time. She's like, Vic, I got those shoes you wanted. I was like, Mom, these say Knicks. Nike has an E. What is this? Indian people are the worst at counterfeits. It's terrible. It's terrible. No, it's hard growing. You grow apart. You grow apart being Indian. Like I remember for Thanksgiving, instead of going around and saying what we're thankful for, my family just went around the table and told me things I need to improve on. So I'm single in 2017. I don't know why I said that like 2016 was any different. Someone asked me, they're like, Vic, how are you single? You're hella charming and dapper as fuck. I was like, thanks, Mom, you're right. You're right, girl. How's my back? How's my back? How do you guys know each other?
Right now.
Really? Okay. Okay, cool. What do you guys do?
Hardly work.
Okay, cool. But IT though. Okay, yeah, I knew, IT. It was a 50-50 shot. It was IT or doctor. I was gonna pick one of the two. It was IT or doctor.
I don't know if you guys have been like keeping up with the news and all, but there's actually a lot of violence going on right now in the country that I'm from. And I am from America, you know, from here. It's a weird time to be here, right? Our president's all like objectively crazy. He's insane. I don't think anyone likes him anymore, right? Like, I don't even think Nationwide is on his side, you know? That's how you know. I should have moved to Canada, like I said I actually would. I went there last week just to visit, and everyone was so nice. I did a few shows, and before every show, everyone was like, break a leg. And I was like, ooh, maybe I will. You guys have healthcare. Like I could actually do that. I like to live by a saying, you know, choose a career you love, and you'll never work a day in your life, right? And I don't, because I don't have a job. You know? I recently left my job because I was asked to, so I had to get out of there. I didn't have a choice. I got fired. I've had a job since I was 16 though, okay? I was that cookie cutter, straight A kid. So I didn't know how to mentally deal with being fired, okay? I listened to Fix You by Coldplay 20 times. And then I felt even worse because I realized on top of being laid off, I also have terrible taste in music, you know? And I think when you live in the city, you get used to all the different restaurant options you have. You know, I was at home in the suburbs of Virginia trying to decide where to get brunch. So I settled on IHOP, you know? Just like anyone who's ever been to IHOP settles on IHOP, you know? Being home is fun. I went to school in Virginia at a place called William and Mary. Or as my dad likes to say, not Stanford. He can't let that go. Yeah. No, whenever I'm home, my dad always likes to tell me the same story. He's always just like, Meg, I came to America with just $5 in my pocket. And I'm always like, yeah, but Dad, you had thousands of dollars in your bank account. Like, that doesn't count. You can't tell that story. My dad likes to act like he came off the Ellis Island boat. But he got off Delta Airlines and he went to Bank of America. Like that was his immigration story. No, but my parents did grow up very poor. You know, my mom always likes to tell me like, oh, I had to choose between textbooks and shoes, which is so crazy. But so my parents grew up poor, but then they both became engineers. Okay, obviously, right? So they made a lot of money, but they still acted very cost effective. So growing up, I could never tell if we were rich or poor. Okay, I had no idea, because they would do certain things that would confuse me. Like, for example, we would only get off-brand things, okay? We always drank off-brand Coke. I don't know if you guys know, it's called Pepsi. It's pretty good. But then we would buy like 4-ply toilet paper. Like, that's too many plies, Dad. What are you trying to prove, you know? Like, too many plies. My mom didn't think we needed to buy a hairdryer. She'd be like, just use the wind, just drive with the wind. But then she had Tiffany earrings, okay? But Tiffany was spelled with a P, so I should have known. Yeah. No tip off. I have a life-size cardboard cutout of Barack Obama. Thank you. Everyone's like, you already told us you were single. I mean, tell us again. It's not mine. My friend had it, and then she gave it to me because the cutout freaked her dog out. Okay, her dog was a Republican. Not like Obama. But I am, like I said, from the suburbs of DC, Virginia, aka DC. So one of my favorite things to do was put the cardboard cutout in the passenger seat of my car and just drive into DC traffic. Just confuse everyone. People would be driving around like, wait, is that the leader of the free nation in a Prius? Wow, he really does care about the environment, you know?
I grew up in the US, and what I've learned is like, there's a lot of things you gotta deal with on like a day-to-day basis. For me, it's like, it's always trying to go out on like a proper date with someone, you know? Like this is a day and age where everyone's on an app, just swiping away. Who's on a date here tonight? Wow, nobody. Nobody thought culture shock was a good date idea, really? Who's married? Clap it up if you're married. How long have you guys been married for? 3 years. 3 years. How'd you guys meet? Facebook, all right. 3 years on Facebook. Give it up for them. That's pretty cool. Even though it's Facebook, that's still like a Nicholas Sparks novel to me. That's still romantic. If I walk outside and like a woman mugged me, took my cash, my phone, left me with nothing, that is still more romantic than finding somebody on Tinder. She takes my cash and well, I mean, that's eventually gonna happen anyway, so it's good to start off on the right foot, right? I've tried all the apps. I've tried Tinder, I've tried Grindr. I've learned it's not pronounced Grinder, and I'm not supposed to be on Grindr. I got fewer matches on Grindr. How fucked up is that? I tried the Muslim version of Tinder. You guys know the Muslim version of Tinder out there? It's called Minder. I'm not making this up. It exists. Only problem with Minder is you can only swipe 5 times a day. It's pointless. To 5 rejections, you're like, am I facing the right direction for marriage? Like, is this gonna work? But I have friends that are in relationships, and they always tell me, like, Sharup, sometimes it's not what it's cut out to be. It's always, you know, grass is greener on the other side. And they tell me, like, relationships involve a lot of things. They involve time, they involve commitment, they involve money. It's like what I was told, don't let your dick write checks your heart can't cash. Yeah. And I was like, Grandma, this is the worst birthday card ever. You just ruined my 10th birthday party. So I'm in a relationship with a girl, and I've learned that after growing this beard, I'm now racially ambiguous. Yeah. On my worst days, I'm confused as an Arab. And on my best days, people think I'm a terrorist. And I'm okay with going with Arab because, like, I tell my girlfriend all the time, if they think I'm Arab, that's fine. That just tells them that you dropped your standards so low that you just struck oil. All right, so it's actually good for her. You didn't know. But again, coming back to like growing up in America, any baseball fans out here? Yeah. Poor souls. I have a friend that's a Cubs fan, and you know those flags with a W on them? I've been telling him, like, hey, they just dropped to 500, which is sort of like a terrible rating in baseball. And until like, that flag you're flying right now, that W just stands for whatever. Right? That's all that means right now. I tried to get into baseball myself, I really did. And I learned that baseball is a very discriminatory sport. Do you guys know that it's harder for black baseball players to steal bases because the manager of the other team follows them around the field? It's true. I've tried to get into a lot of things in life. I got into rapping. I tried to rap. I thought, like, back in elementary, I didn't have any skills. And all the people, all the kids I looked up to, they were athletic, they were excelling in academics. I was just a stereotype that didn't fit the stereotype. I had a guy copy off of me during a test, and then confront me when he got a terrible grade. I told my parents about it, and they made me apologize to him for not making him pass his test. That's terrible pressure. So I was like, I'll pick up rapping because, like, you know, if I'm trying to meet women in the 6th grade, maybe they'll be into like simple rhyming. So I approached this girl on the playground, and I was like, you ma'am, I need you to play along with this. Pretend that you're on the playground, I'm approaching you, and I'm about to drop the sickest rhyme you've ever heard. So he goes like, yo, my name's Sharup, I'm from out of state. I just stay fresh like I'm made of Colgate. Out to 405, I'm here to start trouble. Stepping into puddles, I ain't trying to be subtle, but I'm getting a love money, so at night, watch us cuddle. Your boy about to blow up, so watch out for the rubble. Gotta make a meal, I'm just trying to meet my quota. In any competition, I crush it like orange soda.
Welcome to Culture Shock. I'm the white guy. I like to imagine that when they were booking this show, they're like, all right, who are the most cultured comedians we know? Okay, we got Sharup, Karim, Vikram Pandya, Danny. For sure we need Danny on this show. My role on this show is just to be so white that it just makes everyone else look more brown by comparison. I am very white, as you can tell from my skin. And also from the little sailboats on my shirt. I realize I don't look like a comedian. I just look more like an intern. Not even for a specific country or company, just generally an intern. I tried to look more like a comedian, so I tried to grow this goatee. But recently, a girl just told me that now I look like a cool high school teacher. Like, kids would be in my class like, Mr. Kirschner? And I'd be like, please, call me Danny. We're all equals here. There is one good thing about having a goatee is that it's very effective at letting people know that you can't actually grow a beard. Because no one chooses to grow a goatee that can grow a beard. That decision is made for you. Like, no guy's sitting around at home like, should I get the type of facial hair that girls are attracted to? Or should I get the type that makes me look like the evil version of myself? Because that's what ladies like, right? Guys that look sinister. Girls would be in the club like, Lindsay, you should totally go home with that guy. Oh, he looks suspicious. What's he plotting? Probably my murder. Let's do it. As you can tell, I'm an awkward guy. Everyone was feeling that, apparently. There's a lot of laughter for that observation.
Speaking of misunderstandings, man, I recently got kicked out of a baby shower. Yeah, it ain't like my gift. Apparently a home DNA test is offensive. It was a better gift than the truth.
Beautiful culture shock. Shows are fun as hell. Part of my culture to have a notebook on stage so I don't forget my jokes, so you can't judge me or you're racist. No, I'm kidding. I wrote down every joke I had that I thought could apply to the theme, and we'll see how many I get through in 20 minutes. But before we do that, make some noise for the Chicago summer. It's all nice outside. I love it. I told my mom, this has to be 10 years ago, over 10 years ago now. I told her I was depressed, and she told me to pray about it. So I'm like, that's not medicine. But she told me to pray about it, so I prayed that, mental health disorders wouldn't be so stigmatized in the black community. It didn't work. I don't know. How you guys feel about mental health shit? You guys crazy or you guys normal? Cool, you're gonna love this shit. So right now I'm still depressed. I don't think you can just get rid of it. But I was on 100 milligrams of Prozac a day. This was 3 years ago. And my friends are like, damn, you must be crazy as hell. That's a lot. And they're like, what does it feel like to be on that much medication? And I told them, number one, it does work. It really does work. Number two, while Prozac does work, I do feel like my brain was being gentrified. You know what I'm saying? Like, the property value went way up, but like the neighborhood completely lost its old flavor. Do you see? Like, it's like, where is the liquor store? What's this cupcake shop shit? Why are there so many white people jogging around my brain right now? I don't get it. I don't understand where the potholes at. Let me talk to the alderman. This is weird. You guys want to talk more about depression or not? I don't care. Okay, no. It is weird for people when they hear that I'm depressed, because number one, I'm an extrovert. People can't seem to reconcile those two things. Like, depressed, extrovert, how does that work? Because my whole personality is like, everybody look how sad I am, and that's gross, so nobody wants to do that shit. Also, I'm cocky, which is like, how you gonna be a cocky extrovert? But let me tell you real quick. My ego is like the perfect mix of like Kanye West, of Kanye West fame, and Eeyore the sad ass from Winnie the Pooh, you know what I mean? My whole personality is like, you can't tell me nothing. But should you decide to tell me something, can it please be nice? Because I get sad a lot. You feel me? Like, it's a long, confusing journey. Y'all feel bad for me, but I'm ready to say some terrible shit. You won't feel bad in a second. I am from the south side of Chicago. Y'all figured that out. The city is segregated as hell. You guys just clapping because the south side exists, or y'all from there? What's up, like? I grew up 87th. By Kedzie, which is like markedly now not the hood. It was a historically Irish Catholic neighborhood. Then black people started moving in. The next thing you know, the store in the corner selling loose cigarettes. So it is what it is. I loved it over there though. I really did. I'm assuming that like. So I live in Logan Square now. I'll say that. But in my first 2 years of comedy, I would do like a lot of shows on the north side and have to make this trip across the city back and forth every day, and it sucked. Number one, because I can't drive. Number two, because public transportation is a nightmare sometimes. But it did afford me the opportunity to bring some of my white friends to the South Side and do a little cultural exchange. Because every time we would get on a train after dark, they'd be sitting on the train like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what time is it? It's like stab past rape o'clock. And I'm like, could you chill? Could you chill? Could you please chill? Like, the north side and the south side are basically the same. I lived off 87th Street, which is like past the Mason-Dixon South Side, like sub-equatorial South Side if you're coming here from Lakeview. But we have all the same shit. Like, I've seen this on the north side and I've seen this on the south side. Do you guys know what tumbleweave is? Have you heard of this? Okay, if you don't know what tumbleweave is, it's like tumbleweed, except it's a weave that comes out of your hair. It's like if one forsaken track of weave should find itself rolling down the street, it's like American Beauty. You know what I'm saying? Just like capturing the human elements in an urban environment. You get it. Okay. Y'all got that everywhere. This is my favorite thing about that trip that I used to take, though. So I go from 87th Street all the way up to like past Fullerton, and I would take the Western bus the whole way, which is a long-ass trip. But it's a dope way to see the city. You get like a Roy G. Biv of what the fuck's going on in this neighborhood. It's great. But it's also like a cool way to see one of my favorite things. Is this city has a lot of like beautiful inner city murals, and you get to see a lot of those on that trip. One of my favorite murals is on the south-facing wall of this barbershop / bodega. So already like, what's going on in there? You know what I mean? That's a lot of things for one building. And the mural is supposed to be of historical black figures. I keep that in mind as I tell you who is on this mural, okay? Historical black figures. First, Martin Luther King Jr. Earned it. Historical black figure, love him. Okay, next. We got Barack and Michelle Obama. Like, I love Barack and Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama, I'm so creepy about her, but we'll talk about it later. Next, we got Malcolm X, who's done a ton for my people. Like, I love it. Next on the mural is Oprah Winfrey, which, like, you know, one could make the argument. Oprah is very powerful, and I'm not gonna say she doesn't belong on the mural because I feel like she might have the ability to smite people. So you ain't gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk shit about Oprah. So good job for you being on the mural. Last but not least, on this mural of historically black figures is Tyler Perry's Tyler Perry, and I'm like, okay, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Like, how did Tyler Perry get his ass on this mural? Because if it was just that would have been bad enough. But the portrait of Barack was a little wonky, like his mole was on the wrong side. You feel me? Like, Tyler Perry, photorealistic representation of this man. It was like uncanny. Whereas the portrait of Barack looked like it was done like 1,000 years in the future using only descriptions from Donald Trump's diary. So you know, like, how do I really feel about murals? Like, come and sandblast this shit and build a Starbucks. Okay, anyway. I'm at the corner, and from across the street, down the street, I hear this dude going, "Hey! Hey!" And I'm like, here it comes. "Hey!" He's getting closer. "Hey! Hey, baby!" And I'm like, that's me. "Hey, baby!" He's crossing the street. I'm like, here it comes, guys. "Hey, baby! Is you single? Ha ha." And I'm like, what's funny about that? I don't get it. But yeah, is you single? And I'm like, he's so cute. How do I answer this question? Is you single? Is you single, Rebecca? And I answer him like, okay, dude, so technically the way you just used it, yes, you is single, but when used as a pronoun, you can be either singular or plural. It's crazy like that. She'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that said, the correct usage of the verb to be, whether you are singular or plural, is are. So what you meant to ask me is, are you single? And to answer that question, yes, I am. And that little dissertation on subject-verb agreement should explain why. Like that sort of shit, too. Aggressively single, I'd say. That was 4 years ago, still single today. No, I'm kidding. I was walking around Bucktown like 2 years ago, and I see this couple. They're coming out of a house that it has a for sale sign, and this really well-dressed woman. These are all white people. You need to know for the story. I'm not being weird. I am being weird, but that's because I'm always being weird. But they were white. Anyway, so they're walking out of the building. She's got a clipboard. She's got a jacket on. I'm like, okay, I see you, Blondie. You out here doing your Ivanka Trump shit. Kill it. And so she's got the clipboard, and she's like, we got a school over here. The neighborhood is really beautiful. It's really safe. There's a dog park down the street. And as I walk out of earshot, this heifer goes, and as you can see, this neighborhood is really diverse. And I'm like, I just became Bucktown's diversity. I'm selling houses. I'm telling my mom, like, what the fuck? No. She used me as a selling point. And like, while I wanted to be like, bitch, listen, I didn't do that at all. Because like, racist opportunities got to eat too, right? Like, get your paper, boo-boo. Who am I to stop you? Like, I can be a property brother. I can be property sisters. You know what I'm saying? People and their perceptions. Okay. I did grow up. I grew up like 87th to Kessie, where I mentioned, but I was born off 66 in Jeffrey, which is like by the lake, and it's a changing neighborhood. Like the building I grew up in no longer exists. It's an empty lot. It's been empty for about 8 years, and no one's bought the property. The property value over there is fucked up. But I did grow up nerdy in the hood, which is complicated because people have very binary black and white ideas of what you can be. And I feel like when people who think like that meet me, they're like, I don't get it. But growing up nerdy in the hood has stuck with me this whole time because to this day, I carry around brass knuckles for protection because we're still in the murder capital, it still goes down. But those brass knuckles I do keep them in my NPR tote bag. You know what I'm saying? So like, all things considered, I'm not that dangerous. I'm just not, don't laugh at puns, you're wrong.
Hey, the show was great, man. The comedians, they were awesome. Everybody told their story. They were funny. I was sitting with my friends, and man, we enjoyed it, man. It was such a great show, man. Such a breath of fresh air. They were so diverse, and we can relate to each comedian, you know. And they were funny, and it was, man, we just kept it moving. The high energy, it was awesome. It was awesome. The timing of it, culture shock, America, diversity, everyone's telling their story. Everyone from different locations telling their story, and we use comedy as a platform to tell our story, how we're different and how we're the same, and we're in the same country. Perfect timing, man, and everybody, they were funny, man. Comedy is the platform where you're not on CNN, you're not battling anybody on the blog or on the website. We're just sharing our story, making people laugh, which is the key. So we're not here to fight. We're here to listen to stories and relate to each other, man. And it's amazing. Culture shock, right now, the perfect timing, and we're in Chicago, the melting pot of America. You know, it's perfect. It's perfect.